Hi, it's Conor Svensson here, founder and CEO of Web3 Labs, and this is your week in crypto on Monday, the 22nd of November, 2021. This week's key events include Binance's crypto bill of rights, Santander are planning a Bitcoin ETF, Brave launches a MetaMask competitor, Gemini achieves a $7 billion valuation. The crypto market cap finished the week down just over 5% at 2.64 trillion. Binance issued this week what they call the 10 fundamental rights for crypto users. The intent behind this document is that it's calling for universal access to financial tools, controls for personal data, and a number of other things. The intent is that Binance are creating this as a potential framework for the crypto markets, and they're looking at having this so that exchanges taking it on board, as well as regulators as well, and they want to ensure that people are protected by bad actors and ultimately ensure that the trading experience is better, because of course Binance being the world's most popular crypto exchange, it's no doubt what they want there. However, what's fascinating with this is that Binance, of course, have come under a lot of regulatory scrutiny, which is something we've spoken about on numerous occasions during these weekly updates. I think more generally a criticism of them has been that they've tended to be quite freewheeling, to quote the source on this, rather than actually really thinking very heavily about the regulatory first type approach. So it's a significant initiative by them because they're trying to take the lead here now in helping set some of the foundations for the regulatory approach, and it'll definitely be one to watch to see about the wider implications in terms of if this engagement continues and how regulators actually respond to it as well. Santander, the Spanish bank, they've announced that they're launching a Bitcoin ETF. This is something that they've had in the works for quite some time, and apparently it's being driven by the customer demand. In Spain, apparently they've said that a lot of people want to buy Bitcoin, but there's been slow response to the regulatory support for it. And so by doing this, of course, an ETF will make it a lot more straightforward for people to be able to gain exposure to the cryptocurrency using more traditional financial structures, be that in share dealing accounts and so on. However, one of the interesting points is that they still haven't actually filed anything with the Spanish regulator for this yet, so whether there could be some hurdles there, of course, remains to be seen. This week as well, Brave, the browser, they launched a crypto wallet to really you can think of this as competition against MetaMask. So Brave has always prided themselves on being very much a privacy-focused version of Google Chrome. They've gained a lot of traction in the last few years. Really what they do is they cut out a lot of the advertising and try and be more sort of privacy focused for people. Now, the actual browser itself was created off the back of the BAT token sale a few years back, which was incredibly successful. And so they've kind of had crypto in their DNA for a number of years. But what they have been looking at is that when it comes to actually doing crypto transactions within the browser, MetaMask, the consensus product, has been incredibly successful. We've reported on numerous occasions, again during these updates, how MetaMask now, it's got a very large number of active users and people, and it's actually generating a lot of revenue because of the ability it has to swap tokens in the actual browser, where you can take be it Ether, or you could take just a token that runs on top of Ether, such as Uniswap, and then you could swap it for, say, USDC, the stable coin, or Ether, or whatever else. And MetaMask, I believe, take a 0.875% commission on this, but it's been generating huge volumes of revenue for consensus. And what Brave have basically done is they've launched exactly the same technology, but it's a native part of their browser. So people won't need to go to the Google Chrome store, which Brave uses, in order to install it. So whilst they're talking about it, it protects their browser from bad actors, what they're really doing is they're trying to go after, MetaMask with its significant market share here, because they're even offering the token swap functionality. So it certainly presents a challenge for MetaMask, but at the same time, of course, this is a validation that what they're doing is right, because they've got Brave themselves trying to attack it there. So definitely one to watch, and certainly where it could really get interesting as well is that MetaMask have hinted in the past that they might launch a mask token to reward users of their wallet technology. So that could help them have some stickiness, but it's certainly a big development there. The Bitcoin exchange Gemini has achieved a $400 million raise at a $7 billion valuation. So Gemini was one of the earlier crypto exchanges, which was created by the twins Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss. And in terms of the actual round, it was led by Morgan Creek Digital, Jay-Z's venture partners, CBA in Australia, the bank, and a number of others. What they're planning to do is just continuing to, I guess, grow what they do with the funds here. But it's fascinating to see the different investors that they had there, especially when you've got Jay-Z's company, but you've also got the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, one of the largest banks in Australia, getting in on it. So it's quite a diverse mix of people getting behind that round, which is certainly testament to how much interest there is in this space from both the institutional as well as the more entrepreneurial perspective. That's all we have for this week in crypto. If you're interested in key events across DeFi, enterprise blockchain protocols, or NFTs, do check out our other This Week in Blockchain episodes. And if you want to learn more about the people behind the scenes, do check out our Blockchain Innovators podcast, where I speak to individuals who've made significant contributions to the blockchain ecosystem. Find out what inspires these people, get their thoughts on the latest industry news and events spanning crypto, enterprise protocols, DeFi, NFTs, and DAOs. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.